Today I'm starting a new series where I try to make healthy recipes out of 3 ingredients or less. And this series is for either the busy chef or the lazy chef that doesn't have time to cook, or they just don't want to spend that much time, cooking, cleaning, and chopping up vegetables and, going grocery shopping to buy a bunch of ingredients for a recipe that they may only use once. Not included in the ingredients is going to be your typical seasonings. I figured most people should have, salt, pepper, garlic, onion powder, paprika, and some other ones. And if you don't have them, you can buy them and use them for, the rest of the time. But when you're trying to cook healthier, you're going to keep your fats and added sugars lower. So to get flavor in your meals, you will need seasonings. So I recommend you stock up on seasonings if you don't have them already. And the goal for each recipe is to put in minimal effort and provide maximal flavor. And the first one I want to start with today is a simple bean and cheese burrito. And so what I have here is fat-free refried beans, some light Mexican cheese, and then we'll be using a carb counter wrap, and you can use whatever wrap is your favorite. High in fiber, lower in calories, and I'll put the macros on the screen for the whole recipe in the bottom below. So I just microwaved the refried beans. That's what it looks like. Looks like dog food. Isn't that appetizing? Tastes better than it looks though. So I weighed out about 130 grams, which is 1 serving of non-fat refried beans. Warmed up my tortilla in the microwave. You just spread it out. Then I weighed out half a serving or 14 grams of low-fat Colby Jack cheese. And then you can add whatever toppings you like, or at least whatever toppings you have on hand. You can add salsa, some sort of hot sauce. I also have this nacho cheese dip that I think would go with this bean burrito pretty well. Then you wrap it. Very easy to cook, and you enjoy. Oh, you could also add, if you want to increase the protein and get a sour cream-like flavor, you can add plain non-fat Greek yogurt. This meal is really high in fiber, decently high in protein, so it'll keep you full for a long period of time, which will help you sustain a calorie deficit if that's your goal, if you're trying to lose some weight. For the next recipe, I'll be doing pizza rolls using this Joseph's Lavash Bread, Part-Skim mozzarella cheese, and turkey pepperoni. And on the side is a dipping station that's optional, so it doesn't count as an ingredient. I'll be using some pizza sauce. First thing you'll want to do is fold the lavash bread twice to create 4 lines that you're going to cut, because each lavash bread will make 4 pizza rolls. Then you'll just cut along the lines. After that, you'll weigh out 1 serving or 28 grams of turkey pepperoni. All right. And then with the turkey pepperoni, you'll cut these into fourths. And then you'll add it into a bowl that you'll mix the cheese into. And then next you'll weigh out 1 serving or 28 grams of Part-Skim mozzarella cheese. And then throw it in the bowl. And lastly, before you mix it up, You want to add seasoning of some sort. It could be oregano, it could be basil. I'm just going to use Italian seasoning. Remember, seasonings don't count as one of the ingredients. I hope you already have these. As much as you like. Just mix it around. And then you're just going to divide that evenly into fourths and then put it in each lavash bread, and that'll make one pizza roll. And if you want, you can add more cheese for each pizza roll or more pepperoni, whatever you like. And to fold them, you just fold it halfway like that, then pinch the edges like that. Smash it down, and that's one pizza roll. Fold it halfway. Pinch the edges. Smash it down. Beautiful. 4 pizza rolls ready to go into the air fryer or oven, but I'm going to use an air fryer. Before putting the pizza rolls in the air fryer, I'm going to spray the tops of them with non-stick spray, just so they crisp up a little better. And then I'm also adding garlic powder just for the flavoring. You don't have to do this. This is more of just a preference of mine. All right. So now these will go in the air fryer at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for about 5 minutes until they're fully cooked. Here's what they look like fresh out of the air fryer. Here's what my lunch will be for today. I'll cut into one of these just so you can see what the inside looks like. And you can add more filling if you like. This is just as much as I wanted to put in it today. And the great thing about this recipe compared to normal pizza rolls is they still take about the same amount of time to prepare. This only takes 5 minutes in the air fryer to cook and probably 10 minutes total to prepare. And it may take a few minutes longer if you're cooking in the oven. And that's about as long as it takes for normal pizza rolls to cook. So let this one cool down so it doesn't burn my mouth like most pizza rolls do, and I'm gonna enjoy this. Oh, and I'll put the macros on the screen here for these pizza rolls. So the next 3 ingredient dish I'll be making is called an egg roll in a bowl. And the 3 ingredients that you'll definitely need are some form of a lean ground meat. I'm using 93.7 lean ground turkey. Prepackaged coleslaw mix. And some form of like teriyaki sauce. For seasoning though, I'll also be using soy sauce and some form of a vinegar. Usually rice vinegar works best, but I only have white wine vinegar, so I'll try that today and see if it works. And I'll also be using an onion for seasoning and taste preferences, but it's not necessary. First thing I did was saute the onions. Now I'm adding the ground meat to the pan. Because Costco sells the ground turkey in 1.7 pound packages, that's what I'm using today, but in the ingredients below, I will probably list a 1 pound bag because that's most common. Season generously. This is where the flavor will come from. Wait a few minutes for that side to brown, and then I'll flip it over. So you cook each side for roughly 5 minutes on a medium-high heat, depending on the temperature of your stove. I'll just let that sit. Get that side brown before I start mashing it and chopping up the meat. Oh, and you'll want to season both sides. So, forgot I didn't season this side before putting it in the pan. Mix that around and then add in the coleslaw mix afterwards. And then I'm lowering the heat on the stove to a low heat. Let it simmer for 3 to 5 minutes until everything is nice and combined and marinated and, you know, the flavors all joined together. Mix that around. That's the final product in the pan. Here's what one serving looks like in a container. I decided to serve this with this rice cauliflower I bought, about half the bag, and I'll use the other half for later. And then I also used about 80 grams of jasmine rice mixed in there as well. I'll put the macros on the screen for this meal here. And then I also use this Kinder's teriyaki sauce because I wanted to try it out, but I usually use a no sugar added teriyaki sauce, especially the one from Sweet Baby Ray's. That's my favorite, but I couldn't find it at the grocery store. So hopefully you found this video helpful, and if you use one of these recipes, let me know down in the comment below what you think.